Sasha, anchor, good evening. I'm Sasha with Flash News. Tensions are rising across the United States today, as tens of thousands of Americans take to the streets in what's being called the largest coordinated protest of President Donald Trump's second term. The No Kings nationwide day of defiance is making waves coast to coast, from Los Angeles to New York, from Philadelphia to Houston, as demonstrators voice their opposition to what they call an alarming overreach of presidential power. The protests come just hours before President Trump's heavily anticipated military parade in Washington, D.C., a show of force featuring tanks, aircraft, and over 6,000 troops, marking the U.S. Army's 250th birthday, and coinciding with the president's 79th. President Trump had a stern warning for demonstrators, stating they would be met with very big force if protests turned violent. That warning has not gone unnoticed by organizers or civil rights advocates. In Los Angeles, still reeling from a week of immigration raids and unrest, over 70,000 people are expected to gather, despite a citywide curfew and deployment of federal troops over the objections of California Governor Gavin Newsom. Ezra Levin, a lead organizer with Indivisible, said interest in the protests has skyrocketed since the federalization of the National Guard, and public reaction to scenes of ICE arrests at everyday locations like car washes and hardware stores. New York City saw streets shut down from Bryant Park to Madison Square Park, where over 80,000 people marched peacefully under tight police presence. In Philadelphia, demonstrators rallied at Love Park before marching up Benjamin Franklin Parkway. Protesters in cities like Chicago, Houston, and Atlanta echoed similar demands: protect immigrant communities, end executive overreach, and restore democratic norms. "I just feel like we need to defend our democracy," said Karen Van Trieste, a 61-year-old nurse worried about cuts to public health agencies like the CDC. The protest movement also brought out colorful symbolic resistance, including cosplayers and activists dressed as dystopian characters to express fears over civil liberties and reproductive rights. In Minnesota, demonstrations were abruptly called off following a tragic and still unfolding situation. 2 state lawmakers were targeted in separate attacks. One was killed along with her husband, another wounded. Governor Tim Walz urged the public to stand down until the suspect is in custody, while the president's parade rolls through Washington. Tonight, it's clear the streets of America are sending a different message. Organizers say today is not just a protest, it's a warning. And a promise to defend democracy against what they see as creeping authoritarianism. For Flash News, I'm Sasha.